Did you know that I have a Patreon page? If you want extra content, you can subscribe to my Patreon to see videos that will never be uploaded to YouTube, like this, and this, and this one here.
Wow!
My Patreon account also features brand new types of content like behind the scenes and hot takes. Patrons are also the first people notified of any changes to my schedule. Go to the first link in the description if you want even more content.
I get bored on skating, keep it jumping like an acid drop. Moving for they hate it, bitch, I pull it up and pass a shot. Keep it dedicated, know they faking and they lie a lot. I just take the switch, create the space on like an astronaut. Blessings coming, I said blessings coming, going, y'all got next to nothing. And I run it up, it's showing, I'm the fastest running. Yeah, and I might keep it going, cause I fell in love with all this traction that I'm growing, and it's real to me. It's a message, yeah, I'm rising through the fall, I'm about to learn a lesson. That I'm the fucking answer, don't deserve a question. Missing on tequila with the worst of stresses. Showing my true colors for the first impression. Yeah, lighting on my problems, about to burn and dead on.
On The Mandalorian. Previously on The Mandalorian. We talked about this last episode. Here, let me help. There we go.
Pointless nitpicking is pointless.
Let's move the trade district closer to the shipping terminals.
That's a wonderful idea, High Magistrate.
Ah, yes. This is what we've come here for. The riveting dialogue needed to redraw district lines. Let me pull out my corporate coffee cup and slide into my office chair to really get in the mood.
He's complaining about a conversation that lasts for about 10 seconds of screen time before the main conflict is revealed. You see why that's dumb? This conversation was just a way to establish the setting and kickstart the scene.
Gasp! The pirates are back? Thank goodness I was prepared by the previous Leons. However, would I have been able to handle the shock of this sudden and unexpected development?
Discount Jeremy double dips cliche.
Get the citizens to safety.
The fucking butler droid? I know Karga is short a lawman, but seriously, Navarro has some sort of security or standing militia, right? How is the evacuation of the city being left to the droid that, last time we saw them, couldn't get his boss's title right?
As we see later in this episode, Navarro does not have a standing militia. The droid is pretty much the only thing Karga's got to warn the citizens.
Also, imagine being so misguidedly vain that you commission a bust of yourself before hiring a personal security force.
So, characterization is a bad thing? Really?
Why is this holo transmission thing set to like 100 times magnification? Does the incoming caller get to choose how intimidating they look based on the intent of the call?
I mean, they might get to choose their size, or maybe it has something to do with the receiver or something. But either way, simply asking a question does not immediately necessitate a sin.
Is that what you call gunning down my helmsman in cold blood?
He shot first.
Okay, Karga clearly shot first, and given Star Wars history with this sort of thing, I don't know if we're being deliberately trolled or not. The problem is, I either sit it and get mocked for missing a joke, or ignore it and get blasted for missing a valid point. Regardless, I look forward to 20 years from now when that first episode is re-edited to show that Vane shot first, meaning that whatever I do, I'll end up being wrong for at least part of history.
Well, now I will shoot first.
No! That's still not right!
Skip.
My charts indicate that Navarro is an independent world.
Is this show attempting to make me believe that a central problem is whether or not Navarro is independent? How do you expect me to care about that when this entire universe can't solve choppy holograms? This may be the worst I've ever seen. Look at it glitching.
Wait, is this sin about the independence of Navarro thing, or the glitchiness of the hologram? There are tons of sins like this where he'll start talking about one thing just so that he can use it as a transition to another thing, and it's dumb because it makes it unclear which thing he's sinning, and regardless, the sin wouldn't be valid either way in this instance.
Obi-Wan, you're my only hoping a droid to get out of trouble cliche.
That's not a cliche.
Okay, being bombed by pirates is less than ideal, but look on the bright side. At least now people will visit the statue and simply assume that it was damaged in an attack, and you don't have to explain how part of it was brought back to life and tried to kill a child.
Boring!
Send out a directive immediately.
Considering this droid's track record with delivering news, send out a directive immediately feels uncomfortably vague. I bet there are 1,000 possible directives to choose from, so what if everyone gets a "today is an unscheduled trash day" directive, instead of a "get the f*** out of Dodge before pirates redecorate your home from orbit" directive?
Yeah, based on the fact that the town is currently getting bombarded, I don't think the droid could possibly misunderstand this order. You just used this line to make a shitty joke that nobody with more than 3 brain cells will laugh at.
Can I use your viewer?
Using a viewer to watch a hologram rather than pressing it to your forehead and opting for your far superior imagination to retrieve the message.
Pointing things out on the screen rather than shutting your mouth and learning how to make halfway decent videos again.
And forward this to Coruscant. Request permission to intercede.
They haven't returned a dispatch in weeks.
And they posted me here for exclusively expositional purposes, just in case the bar's TV is showing pod racing instead of news position for once.
Wait, so it's a sin for a character to talk to another character so long as the conversation delivers exposition to us? Why? Do you want every single episode to not have any dialogue? What the hell?
Then I'm just gonna have to go there and talk to them myself. They can't ignore me face to face.
They can, but they likely won't, because we need to connect this episode back to that random one where the nice man got his brain spaghettified.
Later in this episode, we see the secretary try to turn this guy away and he blows past the Rhodian, so the thing he said about them not being able to ignore him face to face is technically true, seeing as how he forced himself into the room.
Using your metal pin to store your extra throat lozenges.
Using your YouTube channel to make terrible jokes that aren't funny.
I am humbly requesting the New Republic to send a
I get the gist.
The internet seems to think that "get the gist" came from a French legal term used in the 1600s. Always fun to find out that the internet's wrong and that this colloquialism actually has origins from an even longer time ago and from much farther away.
Hold on, this sin is really weird. Is he saying that the episode made a mistake by having a character say that he gets the gist of something? What? Why? Can you provide any sort of reasoning? And if you're going to try to defend this sin on the grounds of it somehow being a joke, it wasn't even remotely funny.
I'm going down to the commissary. Can I get you anything?
Like a warm serving of Imperial spy plotting to overthrow the New Republic? Or maybe a bagel? A bagel of betrayal? Officer Kane?
Skip.
How did you manage to find us?
Fortunately, someone I served with in the rebellion is amongst your ranks.
That's a weird way of saying, fortunately, you're all dumbasses and didn't think twice about keeping this Republic droid around.
Except they didn't know that it was a Republic droid? Why do you think that every single character should know everything immediately, even when they're not informed of stuff?
I gotta help the guy.
You can't do it alone.
Can't he, though? I mean, he's faced worse odds without the help of other Mandos. He managed to escape Moff Gideon and an army of stormtroopers with little more than Cara Dune, Greef Karga, Grogu, and an exploding droid. And look, Karga's already there, Grogu's with him, Bo-Katan is the new, less problematic Cara Dune, so all he really needs is a droid to blow up.
I mean, it's possible that he could do it with a small group, but it would still be a hell of a lot easier with all the Mandalorians, especially given the pirates' advantage with the cruiser and fighters.
Our children can feel what it is to play in the sunlight.
Before they're hidden from said sunlight by having their heads encased in helmets they aren't allowed to remove, of course.
Discount Jeremy still doesn't understand the concept of religion.
Does anyone else wish to speak?
I do.
I love how a community that's defined by its ability to follow a strict set of rules can't be trusted to not talk unless there's an appointed talking hammer situation at play.
Wait, but didn't you just mention the strict rules of Mandalorian culture? The talking hammer thing is one of those rules you just referred to. You essentially just said, this culture has a lot of rules, so that must mean it's a sin for them to have this rule.
Why should we lay our lives down yet again? Because we are Mandalorians. This is the way.
This crowd is won over so easily they may have well been chanting, "What do we want? Whatever the guy in front of us says we want."
Paz called their honor and culture into question. It makes sense that they would agree to this, because they're upholding their honor and culture. Also, that fake-ass laugh.
I'll use this to drop you in, and you will operate as a tight military unit.
Because I said so with such confidence, and that's worth 10,000 hours of training.
I mean, they do have a whole lot of training, so I don't really know what your point is.
You lived there once, hiding in the sewers. But now, you can be heroes.
Making the assumption that anyone would want to be a hero rather than revel in the life of a glorious sewer rat shredder style.
Discount Jeremy makes a pop culture reference that isn't a sin of the episode cliche.
I know pirates are going to pirate, but that was your buddy's food. Why waste snacks like that?
Because pirates got a pirate, like you just said?
Straight up murder.
Okay, is that it? Look, I know murder is wrong in the real world and all, but that doesn't make it a mistake for a TV show to have someone do it, and this is a heated firefight too.
Nice of these chaps to politely not shoot Paz as he descends from the sky in the middle of the fight and allow themselves to be mowed down for the sake of entertainment.
Aaron, how easy do you think it is to hit a descending target? And even if he had gotten hit, it's not like he would immediately die. He's got some pretty nice armor on.
This individual has a jetpack.
Yes, good observation, buddy. But did you seriously not also see that he was blasted off of the structure? Do you think that a person who just got blown off of a building by a laser explosion thingy and is flailing their arms around is going to be able to actively think of and use their jetpack? Come on, man.
Listen, I never want to put a stop to Hammer time, truly, but at some point this has got to backfire. Either she'll get caught off guard by an opponent with a range greater than 5 feet who doesn't have the situational awareness of an unharvested potato, or she'll damage/lose what I can only assume is a one-of-a-kind set of Beskar smithing tools.
Okay, cool prediction, but how is a prediction of the future a sin of the current episode?
I know he doesn't have visible ears, but surely the Discount Gorn here has some sort of ability to detect sound or movement, right?
Yeah, I 100% agree with this sin. The fact that the Trandoshan didn't hear the melee fight happening right behind him was just ridiculous.
How have I just now noticed that this giant-ass spaceship is being steered by a fucking wheel? I mean, cool, but also how does that even work?
The wheel is how you steer the ship? Is that not obvious to him? Oh wait, I forgot who we're talking about here. Also, that fake-ass laugh at the beginning of the sin.
Oh, so the Pirate King he's just gonna let himself die over Navarro? This seems like a very peculiar hill to plant your Corsair in. Retreat was 100% an option here, and a great one when there's just one engine between you and an overly kinetic reintroduction to a Navarro mountain.
Right, but you're completely ignoring Gorian Shard's character. The episode clearly showed how arrogant he was, which is why he chose to stay even when they were down to only one engine.
Do you respect my station?
I do.
Remove your helmet.
This might be the dickiest of dick moves to ever move a dick. Of course Bo-Katan is going to think this is a trick.
Discount Jeremy says dick 3 times in one sin.
I was taught that the mythosaur existed only in legends.
Well, if that was true, then they would have called it the Legendosaur now, wouldn't they?
Oh, shit.
Violence is never the answer. It's a question. And in this case, the answer is FUCK YEAH!